Hi. So, has been a long day. I'm recording the intro of this video by the end of the day. And definitely had a lot of ups and downs, as my days usually do. I'm tired. I was very anxious all day. But that book is crazy. Like, I read, and I've only read 3 chapters, maybe 4. I read The Mountain Is You. That book was amazing. It really helped. And now I'm reading this one, 101 essays, and it just, for me, I am someone who, like, a lot of the time I feel like I'm reading, but I feel like I'm reading over the page, like I'm not in there. Rocky, shh, go. And for her books, I just feel like I'm actually absorbing what she's saying, and that makes me really happy. I can definitely see them helping me, and seeing this book helping me, and I'm excited to finish reading it, and I'm excited to keep reading it more than finish it. And yeah, I'm still insecure about saying these things, but if you want to support me, you can like the video, or you can subscribe, or you can comment. Tell me that you're watching, so I feel less hopeless about life. But you don't have to do it because of that. You can, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I look tired. I didn't sleep well, so I guess it shows. But I just want to read something really quick. When you regulate your daily actions, you deactivate your fight or flight instincts, because you're no longer confronting the unknown. Let me read that again. When you regulate your daily actions, you deactivate your fight or flight instincts, because you're no longer confronting the unknown. So that's from, let me make sure, I think it's 101 essays that will change the way you think, by Brianna Wiest. I think that's how you say it. And that made me decide to, I got a schedule for today. I'm pretty good at schedules and following them, but I haven't had one in like a week or something, and I felt pretty shitty. So taking into account that, because I've been feeling very anxious, and that's what fight or flight is, it's just anxiety, but just for no reason, I decided to make a schedule. So I'm doing yoga right now, and I'm just feeling angry. It's like so much anger is coming up. Let me sit down. And I just wanted to record that. I'm gonna try to organize myself more. And the reason why that is, I think it says it in the quote, because you're no longer confronting the unknown. And I am tired of feeling all anxious all the time. So setting up on a schedule, not having every hour of my day accounted for, because you gotta have room to flow, but following the schedule. So I'm doing yoga, feeling very angry. It's just a lot of shit's coming up, and because I think a big reason why I've been feeling very anxious is because I've been having a lot of feelings, and those just stay in your body. If you're not doing anything physical, if you're not moving, they just, if you're not talking about them either, they just get bottled up. And for me, yoga is a very good way of stretching and letting things out. But I'm just feeling so many intense emotions. It just took a moment. I want to continue, and I'll update you on how it goes. Okay, so I finished the yoga session, and it was interesting. I got really angry, and in the middle, it's like a lot of stuff. Especially when I was, positions where I was opening the heart area. heart center, where I feel like I keep a lot of, I mean, maybe other people keep it somewhere else's, some different places, but a lot of the time, most of my stress is kept right there, over my heart. And I just felt like a lot of anger coming up, and I know exactly where it is, because yesterday I was talking to spirit. Some people call it praying, but yeah, don't like the religious connotation of it. But it's talking to spirit about how I want to keep moving forward, and I don't want to turn down opportunities because of the amount of disappointment that I have felt this year, and the amount of pain that disappointment has caused me has made me not want to do anything anymore, not try anymore. And like, for example, I've only been trying to mainly get a job, because that's like survival, you know, so it's like I can't just stop looking for that. But I've noticed that I haven't put all of my energy into my life, you know, into starting projects and doing new things for myself, because there's a lot of pain around starting new things. Have a big fear of failing and whatever. Not even failing, but like feeling the pain that comes with disappointment, with putting your heart out and doing your best and then it not working out. Like, not wanting to feel that pain anymore. But I need to put myself out there again, and that's what I'm trying to do, you know, like making myself a schedule, and, you know, give a shit. In general, just like give a shit about what I'm doing and what I'm spending my time doing. Like, just give a shit. That's what I need to do. I'm too scared of giving a shit. It can be painful. Like just now, I guess that's why I've unconsciously not done things like that as often, especially on days where I feel more vulnerable, because of how painful it can be. Because feeling, I was biting my lip so hard at some point, because I was just feeling this like right there, like so strong. Trying to think if I finished a sentence earlier. I don't know if I did, but again, I'm gonna go back to it. I was speaking to Spirit yesterday about wanting to let go of my disappointment, the pain of disappointment, and also understanding that to get things done, I don't need to suffer. So also I was asking to find a path, for Spirit to show me the path of least resistance. And yesterday I started to see changes in me, like very little. It's like noticing like for example, I had one way of doing things, and then I noticed that another idea came along and it just felt better. For like little things that made me feel better, and I'm noticing that I have these patterns that do not allow me to be happy during my day-to-day, because I like dismiss myself. I'm like, oh, what if I do this? For example, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make tea. It's like, oh, that would be nice, and I have a really nice like kettle, and I'll make tea. And I noticed that I dismissed myself immediately. It's like, don't make tea. And then I was like, why? It's like, there's no point in making tea. Why are you gonna make your life better when it's just a whole fucking huge disappointment and there's no point? And then I was like, there is a point. Let's make tea. It's gonna be cute, okay? Get it together. And I know that I probably am doing that a lot with a bunch of other things that are just not allowing me to be because I just don't want to feel at all because of how disappointing this fucking year has been. But, you know, there are years that are like that, I guess. But yeah, I'm probably gonna insert this in the video, but I'm just gonna put in here what I have. I'm gonna leave this space here. So I put here brush teeth, yoga, I'm gonna check it off. Skincare, shower, make cabbage eggs, already did that. Read 101 essays. Not 101 essays, it's a book called 101 essays that would change the way you think. Listen to a podcast that I already listened to, but I need to take notes. The Financial podcast. Brush teeth again at night. Make dough for tomorrow. And then at night, write my final thoughts about the day. I want to write my final thoughts because I want to see, I don't know, I just want to see how I feel every day by the end of the day, and then read it, and then I can see what the week was about, you know? I want to study myself. And that's something that I've stopped doing, that I was doing for so long, like studying myself and paying attention to myself, which I kind of had to stop doing to an extent because I was just like micromanaging myself and overthinking every little thing. Every like thought that came to my head, I was like, what is this about? Where does it come from? What does it mean? And at some point that was useful, but you know, we have grown, I have grown, no need for that anymore. Dog sank. So I guess that's like a better way of doing that, just like checking in, because for me I feel like the days can just go by and like I don't know what happens. Like, what was last week about? You know, like I'm like I don't know what happened. And I think I just shut down at all. Yeah, can't speak. I shut down a lot. Like my brain just, it's like, boop. I don't want to remember bad things. And I guess that was useful during my childhood, but I don't need it anymore. And you know, like late teens, I was starting to realize. No, I was actually late teens, like 18, 19. I was acting out of trauma entirely, and then like at 20 I started to realize that there were fucked up things with me. I mean, I knew I was kind of fucked up, but at 20 I was kind of like actually, oh. And now that I'm 22, I don't remember what I'm trying to get to. Oh, okay. I'm more aware of how my brain can shut down and how I dissociate, and I've taken care of some of that. How I have no idea. I just like pay more attention, I guess. So I'm trying to pay more attention, be more present, because up to like 2 weeks ago maybe I was still living up in my head at all times and not being present at all. So I've made a lot of progress. I'm excited. I'm happy right now. I'm happy that I did yoga. I'm gonna lay on the hammock and read. I'm anxious. I fucking hate being anxious. But I'll figure it out. Hi again. So now I have been reading for a while. I don't know if this video is gonna make any sense, but we'll see. And I have felt, as I have been reading, felt very stressed about it as I did. And I noticed that it was because I was scared that my efforts of reading, for example, the book that I'm reading is to try to become better in a way, and just a stress that my efforts will be futile and that there's no point. And as you can see from stepped on an ant's nest, so you can see there is a theme. Just being scared that whatever I'm doing is pointless, but I guess what I need to realize is that our existence is pointless, and we're not here because there's a point, because there is a specific purpose. We make that up as we go, and that's what I'm doing for myself. Still have so much debris, or what's the word, remnants, just pieces of the pain, the disappointment that I went through this past year. So loud, I'm annoyed. I'm pushing through it because I know that by pushing through it, I'll stop feeling it at some point, and then I'll start falling into my routines. I noticed today, for a while there after the yoga, I watched Netflix for a while. Alice in Borderland, by the way, really good. I was watching Netflix for a while, and then like my anxiety started to go down. I went outside, and it's like, by the way, that was really fucking weird now that I think about it. It was probably like 2 p.m. and I looked up at the sky, let me show you, and there was like a moon right there, like a piece of the moon right there. So now that I think about it, it's kind of crazy. The moon at 2 p.m, what the fuck. But I looked up and I saw the moon, and one of my favorite things is just looking at the moon while it's still light out and the sky is blue. And I just felt calm again, and I felt happy, and I was like, everything's okay. And like, I need to stop stressing. Then I realized that when I felt that, every time I try to make, like, have a routine or something of that sort, and then I felt anxiety after trying that one thing that I wanted to incorporate into my routine. And then after the anxiety went away, because, you know, I stopped stressing, and I was, I don't know, doing something that calmed me down while laying on the hammock or something like that, I thought that what I needed to do was just stop stressing myself out and, you know, basically do nothing. But as I was reading the book, she was going on about how it is not that we think when we don't have a routine that negative feelings mean that we have to stop doing an action, or that thing that we want to incorporate into our routine. Or really, it means that, you know, if you have the routine, you know that you just, you know, the task is a little hard and you need to finish it because you're working hard towards something. When you don't have a routine, you just start feeling bad and you don't know what's next. You didn't even know that that thing that you're doing, it's leading you towards something else, you know? You don't have a plan. So you just stop, you know, because you don't really know where you're going, and you don't really see the meaning towards, or the meaning behind the pain or the discomfort. More like a discomfort for me. It's baby. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading because that's part of the thing that I wanted to do today. I put in there like make dough for bread and take notes on a podcast. I can do this. I said that if I didn't do something because of some reason, I needed to switch it for something else and put in there why I decided not to do that and why I decided to do the other thing. I don't think I want to do that, so I'm gonna reach for a little longer. Try not to burn myself out, because, you know, if I'm like, yes, push, then I get to a point when I'm just burned out and I don't want to do anything at all. So we'll see. I guess this video is just about routines. Brianna Wiest, Brianna Wiest book. Okay, so now I'm gonna tackle the podcast and taking notes about the podcast. And the big things are done. I need to put bread together, but that's really just like overnight. No kneading bread, so I am okay with that.
The shitty thing about credit scores is that we're one of the only countries that have them, and this is a conversation for another time, but they probably the least in your control, because you know, you either opened a credit card at a certain age or you didn't, or you either started building credit at a certain age or you didn't. So that's why it's important that if you haven't started building credit yet, start building it now, because your credit history is part of how they determine a credit score. So the length of my credit is